everyone. Welcome to my very first episode of Hanging with Helen. Excuse the surroundings today. We're in my temporary kitchen until my new kitchen that's being renovated is ready. So what we're going to do today, I thought it would be a great idea to do some hot cross buns, and for all my gluten-free friends out there, I'm actually going to do a gluten-free hot cross bun recipe. In the lead up to Easter, of course. Now, this recipe is not my own. It's actually from the recipe community. There's a person that's popped on a recipe, a customer called the Naked Baker. So go over to the recipe community, look up the Naked Baker, gluten-free hot cross buns. The other thing is that I'm actually not going to do them in buns today. I'm just a tad lazy when it comes to cooking. So I'm actually going to put it in a loaf, make it as a loaf. And it's totally up to you as to which way you want to go, whether you want buns or a loaf. But I'm liking the loaf idea more and more because it's easy and we can cut it up and toast it afterwards. Firstly, we've got 400 grams of milk, or mils of milk. As we know in Thermomix, all liquids are measured grams rather than mils. But we've got full cream milk there. I'm going to put 80 grams of butter in there as well. Maybe we should use the spatula. And we know you can use the scale function. I have pre-measured this, but of course you can use your scale function on your Thermomix to measure them in as you go and minimize the amount of washing up you have afterwards. So we're going to heat that up. I'm actually going to put the yeast in at this point. It's just what I'm used to, really. I don't even know if it's better or needs to be in there, but I like to put it in there while it's heating to help activate that yeast straight away. It's a little bit of a tweak. Anybody that knows me knows that I do tweak recipes all the time, so sorry about that. Right, we want 2 minutes on here, 37 degrees, and speed 2. That's ready. Now don't panic if you don't have a Thermomix. Obviously you can just do this in what you're used to using at home. But really, why? Why haven't you got a Thermomix? You really need one. No, just jokes. No, you really do. Okay, let's move on. I'm actually going to put all the rest of the ingredients in now. It's really, really simple. So I've got some sugar, and remember the measurements are on the recipe, Naked Baker. So I've got some sugar, I've got some apple cider vinegar, about a teaspoon, some psyllium husk powder, and you can grind up your own psyllium husks if you want to in your Thermomix to create your powder. Saves you a lot of money. We've got 2 teaspoons of cinnamon powder. Again, grind down your own cinnamon quills. Takes only a minute in your Thermomix. And again, you're saving yourself some money. This is a special spice mix. The recipe is on the recipe community as part of this recipe. So you can use that or just use what you have. In actual fact, I really should be quite honest here. This is my mix, not the one that's on there. Not because there's anything wrong with it, it's actually fantastic. But again, going back to the lazy part, I was being a little bit lazy. And this was what I had for my gingerbread mix, spice mix. So that is also on the recipe community if you have a look. We've got some eggs, 2 eggs. Popping those in there, and about 520 grams of gluten-free plain flour. So remember, I've already measured this out, so I'm not using the scale at the moment. Just try and not get it everywhere. So as well as being a bit of a lazy cook, I'm a little bit of a messy cook as well. I'm sure a lot of you can relate. All right, so that's our gluten-free plain flour, and we're just going to pour about a teaspoon of salt. Now don't panic, this is a really, really tiny teaspoon, so I'm just going to put maybe 3 of my wincy one. Alright, that's it. Now because this is gluten-free, you don't actually need to knead it, which makes it even less work for you to do, or the Thermomix in this case. So I'm actually going to mix it up. I'm not putting a time on. Speed 4, 10 seconds is pretty much all you need. And you don't need to be afraid of over mixing it. So let's just see where we're at 10 seconds. And we might be ready. Okay, so what I want to show you, see how it's coming together? So what I'm going to do is just give it a little bit of a scrape. It's looking a little bit like a dough, but a very sticky dough, which is what you want. Okay. I'm going to go just for another couple of seconds now. Speed 4. Check it out, and I'm pretty happy with that. I'll show you that end result as well. Alright, and there you go. Now I'm not putting dried fruit in here because in actual fact I don't like dried fruit in hot cross buns. Excuse the noise, that's my new kitchen that's being done right now as we speak. So you can put choc chips. My sister who is behind the camera, Nick, hi. Did want choc chips but I didn't prepare for it, sorry. So anyway, oh, we don't need to put it back on. We're actually going to put it into our tin now. If you were going to put fruit or choc chips, then you'd put it back on, put it on reverse a couple of seconds and mix it through. What we're going to do is take this batter and pop it into our loaf tin. I've got a heavy base loaf tin. It's absolutely fantastic. You can get it at bread shops or you can get it from our mix shop, our Thermomix mix shop. So we've got brilliant bread tins. So I've gotten most of that out, but we're going to see, look how sticky it is. Now when you have your cooking experience, as your consultants will always tell you, and even if you go to a cooking class, this is how you clean the blades. We're just going to go straight up, speed 10, just for a split second. There is no point fighting to try to get all of that off with your spatula or your hands. So now what you're going to see is the blades are actually clean and everything's been spat to the side. I can get the final amount out. There we go. And you're going to let that rise because that's got yeast in it. So one of my tricks is I'm going to put it into the oven on about 50 degrees, the lowest setting that your oven can go. Leave it in there until you see it double in size and then whack it up to about 180, 200 for about 30 to 40 minutes. And you can check it until it's nice and golden brown. Put your skewer in, make sure it comes out clean. And we'll come back to that. Okay, this is now risen and we can now put it back in and whack up the oven to a higher temperature. Okay, the loaf is ready. After about 30 minutes in the oven, it's got the nice golden colour. I've just mixed 1 tablespoon of sugar with 1 tablespoon of water and you put the warm syrup on the warm loaf. The hot cross loaf. Now for those of you that are maybe watching your calories or trying to be extra good this Easter, this is perfect because instead of having half a hot cross bun, you can have a very thin hot cross toast or a hot cross slice. I can get really carried away there. Anyway, you get the idea. So let me cut it open so that you can see what it looks like on the inside. Oh, isn't that beautiful? And I so wish that you could smell this. It smells awesome, tastes fantastic, really nice fresh. It will last like this for a couple of days, but like I said, you can pop it in the toaster sliced as well. Hope you enjoyed hanging with Helen, and don't forget it's a free subscription, so get onto my YouTube channel and subscribe so that you can be notified whenever I have any of these videos. This is my loaf tin. I've just pop this now in our gluten-free tin. Gluten-free tin? No, that's not gluten-free tin.
Such a tag.